This is Terry Grimbeek with Just Catamarans, and today we are in Fort Lauderdale having a look at the 2021 Leopard 45 called Symphony. This is a single owner boat with a 4-cabin configuration but has never been uncharted. This is probably one of the best 4-cabin Leopard 45s you will find on the market. The owners of this boat have meticulously maintained this vessel and have also spared no expense in the upgrades that they've added. You'll find some excellent features on this boat. We'll start out on the transom or the sugar scoops here. Right away, one of the big things you'll notice is the shower up top, which is an addition that the owners have done, and they've integrated that into the solar arch. The solar arch carries around 1,480 watts of solar. Moving on from that, you will see they've also added the stair at the back here. This little step is an additional feature, and while very simple, it is a great upgrade, just making that accessibility on and off the boat that much easier. The controls for that shower are found right here, and you do still have the original shower head located right in there as well. We will also find back here an access point to your washdown. So not only do you have the washdown up front in the bow of the boat, which we'll have a look at later, but you also have access back here, just making it that much easier to keep your boat clean. As we move slightly forward, you will see the engine room in here, where you will find one of your two 45 horsepower Yanmar engines. As we make our way along the port side of this boat, a couple of good things to point out. Firstly, you will find your Starlink dish right here. Also, while you have this on both sides, we'll point it out here on the port side, you have this access right here where you have this opening in your stanchions. Great feature to have on your boat. And again, it just aids in that accessibility. So you have your lower step and you have your higher access point right here. So depending on the tide, you've pretty much always got easy access onto your boat. And this is something you don't always see, and it is just nice to avoid having to step over your stanchions. Walking forward along the decks, you will notice that you have a very comfortable walking area up here. You also will find that you have flush mounted hatches, so no toe stubbers. As we make our way forward, one minor detail just to point out is the vent right here on the deck. This is for your vented dryer. Inside this boat you have a washer with vented dryer combo, and you can open and close this. So if you're underway, you screw it down and it seals, preventing water from making ingress into your boat. Whereas if you're on dock or you're using that dryer, you just unscrew that and it allows that air to vent through. Up on the bow of the boat, you will find that you have the bow seats up front, which is always a very nice feature to have. You will also find here, fastened off, this is going to be your halyard for your head sail. This boat does come with a bowsprit, which is currently not put out front. It is being stowed in the port forward locker, but it can be deployed for that head sail. You will find access to your bow lockers through these two hatches up front. The bow lockers in this boat are configured a little differently to each other. So your port bow locker, while you do have access from the top, you also have access from inside the boat. And there is a mattress in there, which allows that to be used as a single berth if needed, or it can just be used for storage space. When we make our way over to the starboard side of the boat, you will note that there is no access from the interior, so it is purely access through the hatch on the top of the boat. As we make our way there though, we will pass these 3 lockers up front as well. So on port here, you will find that we have the generator along with additional storage. Currently stored in here, you will find this boat's code 0 along with the bowsprit. And the owners have just had the whiskers of the bowsprit replaced with Dyneema instead of the stainless, so that you do not have to worry about rust. The center compartment here is where you will find the windlass and anchor when not in use. This is also where you will find your forward washdown access point. And then as we make our way to starboard, you will find more storage along with your water tanks. And then finally up front here, we make our way to the starboard bow locker. And as mentioned previously, just have to get this open here. As mentioned previously, this is your only access to the starboard bow locker. You do have a ladder to help you get in there, and this is excellent storage space, especially for those wet items such as dock lines or wet head sails that may need to be stored. Finally, before making our way aft again, I always like to take note of the trampolines that you find on the different vessels. This boat has that wider mesh, those wider mesh trampolines, which are extremely comfortable on the feet and make a great trampoline to use for lounging around, walking on. Smaller aperture, so not necessarily designed for that blue water cruising, but a very comfortable trampoline. As we make our way down the starboard side of the boat, one item to point out, which is a little different from the other side, is we do have these fair leads that you will find on the stanchions. These are to run your furling lines from your code 0. I also did not point this out on the other side. This is something that's mirrored on both sides though, which is the handholds. There are excellent handholds throughout this boat, which really just aid in making your way forward and aft on this vessel. When you are running your head sail, the line, the sheet for that boat will make its way back to this block here, and you have a block in a similar position on the other side. That gets redirected through a series of blocks on the deck and will make its way to the helm station. So all of your lines that will be in constant use are all run back to the helm station on this vessel. The helm station is enclosed in this isinglass style enclosure, which just makes captaining from there a very comfortable experience in rain or shine. As we make our way aft of the cockpit, you will notice on the starboard side we have this stairway going up to the Flybridge lounge. The owners of this boat have also moved their life raft up top here to a very easily accessible area, and they've put it under this cover, which does have a little bit of padding should you want to use that for a bit of seating. The usual location for that is down in the cockpit, which I will show you in a little bit. Up on the Flybridge lounge area now, you will notice that you have plenty of seating area up here, and I think one of the great things about this upstairs lounge is just the extra relaxation area that you have. You know, it just opens up the boat that much more and provides you that little bit of extra space. If you want to be with people, on your own in long passages, whatever it is you're looking for, you can find it on this boat through the aft cockpit, the upstairs lounge area, or that forward seating area as well. From up here at the Flybridge, you'll notice you have excellent access to your stack pack, and that will give you very good access to your sails if you are dropping them or raising them. You also have the outdoor lighting, which pops up right there. Very easy if your sundowners run a little past sunset. And then you have the lounging pads up front as well. Having made our way back to the cockpit, a couple of things to note here. Firstly, once again, we'll take stock of the seating. You have ample seating back here, a nice large table that can be used as a dining room table. You have storage under the seats here. This seat back here would typically house the life raft, but because we have mounted that upstairs on this vessel, that just becomes additional storage space here. You have your propane locker under this seat right here. And then as we make our way forward in the boat, you have additional storage under these seats. along with a false bottom that houses your battery bank. This boat has a 900 amp hour lithium-ion battery bank with Relion batteries. Looking outboard from here, we are going to see the outdoor fridge as well as the stairway up to the helm station. Up at the helm station now, we will see that you have 3 electric winches up here. All your lines, again, all of your functional lines are run back to these winches, back here to your helm station. You have access to your VHF, as well as all of your instrumentation. So you will see your chart plotter, autopilot, as well as your multi-data units right here. You also have very easy access to your engine controls, or your engine panels, right here in front of your helm. The helm on this boat, the owners have put on a black powder-coated helm, and you have a very comfortable 2-seater seat up here. Might be able to squeeze in a 3rd person, but it would be tight. It's definitely a comfortable 2-seater though. And once again, just to point out that enclosure that you have up here, so you have great access from right down in the cockpit via the stairwell. You also have a zip open door here in this enclosure, so you have excellent access from both in the cockpit or out on the decks to the helm station. And while this is closed, you feel very sheltered in here. You're not going to be getting any rain, wind, anything like that. You're just going to be able to focus on navigating the boat. As we make our way inside the boat, one of the first things you will notice is this large opening you have. You have a large sliding window inboard here. You also have a very nice sized doorway with no toe stubber. This is all on one level, so making your way in and out of the boat is seamless. As you enter the salon and you look outboard towards the starboard side of the boat, you will see the control panel. So you have access to your Spectra Watermaker controls as well as your generator controls. You also have a Victron color control system that has been installed, allowing you to easily track your power intake and output. You will also find your standard control panel here, which has your 12 volt as well as your 120 volt switches and your 2 air conditioner controls. This boat has 2 16,000 BTU air conditioner units, which will allow you to cool the entire boat. Right underneath that, you also have the upgraded fridge and freezer units. The standard units you get from Leopard are the twin drawer style. However, the owners of this vessel found that they were having an issue with icing of the freezer, and so they have upgraded these units to the door style fridge and freezer, which just helps prevent that icing out. And then as we make our way forward to the galley, while we're on the topic of cold storage, you have another cold storage unit right here. Looking around the galley, you have plenty of counter space. This is a very comfortable galley to work in. You have a 4-burner propane or gas stove. The owners of this boat opted not to have the oven unit and instead have a toaster oven underneath that grill unit. And then they also have the microwave up top. Looking forward in the galley, you will find a good sized single sink as well as a drying rack unit, which you will find right in there. You will also find that you have plenty of drawer and cupboard space in here, in addition to the 3 storage units that you will find under the floors. The galley is forward facing, and with the windows in this salon area, that just gives you those excellent views. For anyone that struggles with a little bit of seasickness, that will certainly be of benefit to you, as it allows you to keep your eyes out and on the horizon. That also ties in very well with the navigation station on this boat. you have a forward-facing navigation station. Now, this nav station does not have any instrumentation, but you can pair a laptop or pad of some sort with your navigational equipment. And I also do love that it is that forward-facing nav desk. So from here, very easy to conduct watches when you're in an environment that's not too crazy. With that 360 vision you have from in here, you can very easily keep a great watch from inside the vessel. You once again have storage under the seating back here. And as we make our way aft to the dining room table, you will notice that right now we are in the coffee table configuration, but we can very easily rotate this table and open up these leaves to create a more spacious dining room table, and it's just that easy. Once again, if we want to put it back into the coffee table, we simply fold these leaves up, rotate this table, and we're back to a coffee table. This table does have the ability to lower down, and up front in the port forward locker or bow locker, we have a additional cushion as well. So when you lower this down and open it up, you can put that cushion on top of this table, and it will act as an additional berth if you need it. And with that, let's head down into the port hull. One of the first things you will notice is the washer dryer unit. Now, in order to fit this washer dryer unit here, they have had to take up some of the space in the port forward bathroom. And so we'll have a look at that in a second. Essentially, you are losing the head, but you maintain the shower. So let's have a look at that now. Over in the port forward berth right now, you will notice up front we have what I would estimate to be around a double-sized berth. You do have a good amount of storage space in here for a 45-foot boat on what would be considered sort of your guest cabin. You have closet space up front, as well as two very large drawers underneath the berth. And you also have a lot of shelving space, which you will find inboard. Looking in the bathroom back here, you will see that you have the standing shower, still usable. However, where the head would normally be located, you have this cabinet which houses the washer dryer. This cabinet has been sealed to make it watertight, and you also have the excellent shelving space on top. In the port aft cabin, you will find your roughly queen-size berth. Once again, you have great shelving space on the side. You have cabinetry on the inboard side there as well. And once again, you have that drawer space underneath the berths. You will find if you were to lift this mattress up, your fuel tanks are located underneath the berth back here, and you do have those partial walkarounds on either side. Looking outboard from here, you will find the ensuite bathroom, which has a standing shower as well as your head and sink. Over on the starboard side now, we'll start in the aft cabin. Once again, you're going to find the around queen-sized berth. This side has a mattress topper for that added comfort. Once again, you will find those partial walkarounds as well as ample storage space with a nice hanging closet inboard. Looking outboard, you will once again see that ensuite head with standing shower and sink. In the starboard forward head, once again we are looking at that roughly double-sized berth along with the shelving space outboard. Again, ample closet space, that hanging locker right here looking inboard. Under the floor here, you actually also have an additional storage compartment, which is enclosed from the rest of the bilge, so you do not have to worry about any water that may get in there from the bilge. And once again, we have that drawer space. The biggest difference on the starboard side is you no longer see that opening up front. So this is entirely isolated from the bow locker, as well as on this side, they have not put in the washer dryer, of course. So you have your head along with standing shower and sink all accessible over on the starboard side. Now, one of the great features on the Leopard 45 is going to be this forward door that we see up front here. Apart from giving you excellent access through to the bow of your vessel, it also makes for fantastic ventilation, especially when paired with that large opening we saw at the back of the boat, with that large window and sliding door. If you're on anchor and you open this up, you are going to have fantastic airflow throughout this vessel. Now up front here, you will see that you have plenty of seating space. This is a very comfortable area to sit. You also have this table, which flips up right here and simply folds out like that, making this a very usable space. This is Terry Grimbeek with Just Catamarans, and it has been my pleasure to show you around the 2021 Leopard 45 called Symphony today. For any additional information on this boat, please look in the description where you will find a link to the full brochure for this vessel.